Why aren't you more productive? I'm sure you've asked yourself this question a million times. How come even when you're stuck at home with nothing but time, you still can't manage to get more done? Listen, you're not alone. We've all experienced this hard truth that more time does not equal more productivity. If you don't have a proper framework to maximize your productivity, well, all that extra time is just more time wasted. But you're in luck because today we're giving you the 7 productivity principles to change your work. After watching this video, you'll know how to get the most out of your days, eliminate distractions, and enjoy your well-earned downtime so that you can keep doing whatever you love every single day. In short, you'll be able to turn on when it's go time and, just as importantly, turn off when it's time to wind down. So let's get going. To give you an idea of just how much time we all waste, listen to these numbers. The average person spends 2.1 hours a day being distracted, and you can bet a lot of that time is spent mindlessly scrolling on our phones and clicking on things that don't actually help us. The average person also spends at least 4 hours a day on their mobile device. 4 hours. That's a quarter of the time you're awake each day. Studies also show that it takes your brain 21 minutes to refocus every time it's distracted. So every time you get that quick glance at your social media or stock portfolio, that's not just 30 seconds wasted, it's a third of an hour. Every single time. That's a lot of time wasted. So if you're like most people, you get tempted by distraction all the time. Now the key to overcoming this is to create systems that eliminate distractions and allow you to maximize your focus. Just look at some of the busiest and most productive people on the planet. People like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates. These people are masters of minimalism. They use methods like timeboxing and don't believe in things like useless meetings. Even though it seems like they're doing quite a bit all the time, they are ruthless about hyper-focusing on one goal-oriented project in a given time frame. So how can you maximize your productivity like these tech giants? Well, just sit back and get ready for our 7 easy productivity principles. Afterwards, if you follow these basic principles, your life could change in just 21 days. Here's a fun fact before we get started. If you commit to a new lifestyle change for 21 days straight, your brain will make that new change a habit. If you continue that new habit for another 90 days, it will become a permanent change in your life. It's the 21-90 rule, and it's the foundation of this productivity system. So let's dive in. You're about to learn our 7 easy productivity principles to completely change your work. Number 1 is get organized. In order to be productive and accomplish anything, you need to first know the target you're aiming at. Start by creating a to-do list. It's the quickest and best way to get all your goals down on the page and organized. It's the AQMWD method, courtesy of YouTuber and fellow entrepreneur Matt Ragland. The AQMWD method lets you group your goals into manageable buckets so you can take your big annual goals and break them down into realistic individual daily tasks. Here's the gist. Start with a notebook and write out all the things you want to accomplish this year. Next, choose the 3 to 5 most important goals from your list that you want to tackle this quarter. The next part is to break down these quarterly goals into monthly tasks and then break those down even further into weekly tasks. Eventually, you'll end up with your master weekly task list, which lets you get hyper-focused on individual tasks day by day. Each day you chisel away at your daily tasks, you'll get closer to your weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals. By the end of the year, you'll be amazed at how much you've accomplished. That's because you were able to focus on the seemingly insignificant daily tasks that were a part of the big annual goals. In other words, you overcame distraction and found meaning in the day-to-day. Pretty sweet, right? Well, that's just the beginning. Our second principle is create accountability. Sure, it's great to be organized and to have all your goals broken down into manageable daily tasks. But if no one's holding you accountable, who cares if you're organized? It's not going to get done. That's the cold hard fact. There are 2 basic ways to create accountability for yourself. Get an accountability buddy or get some goal tracking project management software. An accountability buddy is a great way to hold yourself accountable because you're placing your faith and credibility in the hands of a trusted friend or family. Give them your weekly task list, and at the end of every week, have a check-in to hold yourself accountable with them. Did you complete your goals or not? It's that simple, really. Pro tip, this method works best as a 2-way street. If you're gonna ask someone to hold you accountable, return the favor for them. To take it up a notch, add in consequences such as a $20 penalty for not completing your top weekly tasks. When it comes to software, there is a ton to choose from. Just look at a goal tracking software like Beeminder or Habitica where you can gamify your habits and goals, or even lose money for slipping up on a deadline. Now, if you want to get more advanced with calendars, timelines, and Kanban charts, there's always Trello, MeisterTask, Asana, and a whole host of other project management tools out there. Check out our project management tools video to find the right one for you. Number 3 is master minimalism. Remember how we said that Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates are masters of minimalism? That's because they're pros at reducing the distractions in their life, so they can unleash their laser-like focus on what matters. When we talk about minimalism, let's think of it in two ways: internal minimalism and external minimalism. Mastering your internal minimalism means setting fewer goals so you can fully absorb whatever it is you're working on. At first, this might sound like you're getting less done, but really, you're getting much higher quality work done, and that's a win-win for you. Here's a tip from Greg McCune, author of the New York Times bestseller, Essentialism: The Disciplined Pursuit of Less. He talks about using essentialism to identify what's vital in your work and how you can fully uncover your work's meaning and richness. There's also external minimalism, which involves getting rid of distractions in your work environment. Here's a hard and fast rule to live by. If it's not going to help you with the specific task you're working on, you should not be able to see it. For most, that means phones, apps, laptops, website tabs, people. For others, it could mean dogs, food, or even that episode of Narcos playing in the background. Whatever it is that distracts you, get it out of sight and turn it off. Good rule of thumb, turn off notifications on all your devices, hide your phone somewhere if you don't need it for the task, and make it very difficult to reach. Put on noise-canceling headphones, lock your door, do whatever you need to do, just stay focused. Mastering external minimalism goes right into our next productivity principle: eliminate distraction. Procrastination and trying to take shortcuts are pretty bad for your productivity, but at the root of all productivity evil is distraction. The word distraction literally breaks down into distraction, the frustrating phenomenon of losing traction on what you're working on. At its core, it's a pain management response that kills your flow state. Maybe a missed call or a slight hunger pang tipped you over the edge of productivity and into distraction land. Whatever caused the distraction and triggered that pain management response can happen again if you don't have the proper setup to eliminate distractions. This means both externally, like making sure your space is device-free, and internally, like making sure you've eaten properly before working. Once you reframe how to handle that pain, you'll become, in the words of Nir Eyal, indistractable. Our fifth productivity principle is to use timeboxing. Timeboxing means setting defined, tangible windows of time to work on your tasks. It's an incredibly simple way to schedule out your day in advance and takes your choice out of the moment. The most prolific and productive use time boxes. Elon Musk allegedly does 5-minute time boxes, but you don't have to go that crazy for this method to work. Use an alarm clock, a digital timer, or any other timekeeping device. Our favorite timeboxing tool is a simple hourglass. It's non-digital, aesthetically pleasing, and always in front of you so you never forget to use it. Whatever you use to time yourself, timeboxing makes you give yourself a limited amount of time so that you don't waste it. Number 6 is guard the golden goose. Now, the golden goose is the source of wealth, the thing that produces the golden eggs. In other words, it's you. So protect it. The health of your body and mind will determine how productive you are in the long run. We all know that work is never truly done, and you can always create more for yourself. That's why you have to get good at work-life balance. Or, as we like to say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. The 3 key elements to this are 1, journaling, 2, exercising, and 3, meditating. Journaling allows you to keep an open channel of communication with yourself and let out anything and everything that's going on in your mind. We recommend the Morning Pages Journal, known as the windshield wipers for the mind and a favorite of best-selling author and entrepreneur Tim Ferriss. Exercising boosts your immune system, self-esteem, and endorphins. There's a whole bunch of other positive effects to exercise that I don't have to tell you about. Just get moving. Meditating will calm your nerves, help reduce stress and anxiety, and give you a clearer mind. You can try out apps like Headspace, Calm, or Insight Timer. Being productive is not just about a day's work, it's about a lifetime's. So just like athletes need to recover after games and long weeks of training, you need to recover after your work days. Otherwise, you're headed straight to the dreaded B word, burnout. Speaking of which, our 7th and last productivity principle is to battle burnout. First things first, make sure you know how to recognize burnout. If everything you say about your work is negative, it's probably a burnout warning sign. Frequent bouts of depression, anxiety, and an inability to hit small goals are also big signs that you need to pump the brakes and either give yourself some space from work, go see family or friends, get some serious downtime, or do all 3. The goal is to utilize our first 6 principles above so you can prevent burnout in the first place. Get the most out of your work, be as efficient as possible, and recognize when it's time to take a well-deserved break. But if you run into burnout and battle it properly, you're making moves to fix your productivity train long before it derails and falls off track. Before we dive into exactly what you should do next, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. You'll be first in line the next time we drop some insider knowledge that's gonna change your life. All right, it's time to get serious. Remember our fun fact about the 21-day rule? Now it's time to change one of your productivity habits for the long term. Choose one of our 7 principles and keep at it for the next 21 days straight. I promise you'll be amazed at what happens. Here's an easy example. Take just half an hour and write out all your goals for the year. Then choose one to break down into this quarter and figure out what monthly, weekly, and daily tasks you need to do to complete it. That's it. Once you see how easy and clarifying this is, you won't be able to stop yourself from doing it for your other big annual goals. Want an even bigger challenge? How about our Master Minimalism Challenge? Take the 90-91 rule from productivity expert Robin Sharma. For the next 90 days, spend the first 90 minutes of your workday on the single most important game-changing opportunity for you. That means no phone, no email, nothing else but that game-changing task. Remember, it's the first 90 minutes of your day for the next 90 days. Comment below to let us know what principle you're going to tackle and how. We reply to every comment and would love to hear from you and be your accountability buddy. We've given you a few action items as a start, but that's just the beginning. If you really want to take full advantage and maximize your productivity this year, take each one of these principles and see how you can implement just one change to that area in your life. This is an overarching guideline for productivity, and it's not going to work if you try to change everything all at once. Take your time, folks. Trust us. So let's recap our 7 principles. Get organized with a simple to-do list, get an accountability buddy, master minimalism with fewer goals, eliminate distraction with a device-free work environment, and use timeboxing to create small wins and use your time wisely. Lastly, always make sure to give your mind and body some well-deserved rest and rejuvenation and enjoy some downtime so you don't burn out. Whatever you do, start small and build up from there with this productivity framework. You'll be surprised at how much you'll accomplish in just 21 days from now. Want to see more videos like this one? Comment below and let us know. Good luck, and we'll see you in the next one.